Hello, this is Don from the frozen lead zone up here in Canada, and that's a shout out to you there, fortune cookie. That's where we can still use lead. So, and we actually get a fair amount of lead in our lead wheel weights when we get them from the tire stores here. It's a nice place to live. So what I want to do here is just go over a little bit on the subject of gun cleaning. It's something that there's a lot of opinions on, and a little bit contentious. You know, some people say don't clean your guns, you know, it's just going to wreck them, and some people say clean them all the time, and you know, especially military types kind of claim that most barrels are ruined by too much cleaning rather than too little. So I'm going to just give you my take on it and go over a few methods, the basic method that can be applied to most any rifle or handgun, and go over my way of doing it, and hopefully that's of some help to others out there with some questions on their mind. I'll explain a little bit what my reasons are for the way I do it and why I do it that way, and maybe you learn something. As I said, this is just my opinion, but what I'm going to start off with is I'm going to talk first about holding the gun properly when you go to clean it, and you can get gun cradles and things like that, and there's various ways of doing it, or just lay the gun on your lap and make a mess of yourself while you're getting hops, cleaning fluid all over you. Lots of ways to do it, but one good way is that I prefer is just holding the barrel of the gun in a vise, and by that you can see here I have a vise. I've done a video separately on this, a very short one just showing, and I'll just point out quickly that one of the important aspects to that is to have a little platform at the bottom for your vise pads, because as you're putting the barrel into a vise, there's some hard steel parts there, and you really don't want to be dropping the barrel. The barrel will eventually, as you're loosening the jaws, it's going to kind of let go unexpectedly and clunk. It'll clunk on that steel and possibly scratch it. So this takes a lot of the worry out of it. The gun I'm going to use here is for a demonstration is a Ruger #1. So it's a pretty simple rifle, and first thing you do is you got to make sure that gun is empty, and it'll be a good example for cleaning, but of course if you're using a bolt action you have to take the bolt out, and hopefully you know how to do that. There's usually a little tab somewhere back there to press in. Sometimes you have to put a little screwdriver and then press the tab down, get that bolt out of there, and if at all possible clean the barrel from this end here. If you've got a lever action, really you're kind of stuck with cleaning it from the muzzle end, but as long as you're careful, you're not going to damage the crown of your muzzle too easily. Just make sure you use a clean brass rod. If it's softer than steel, it's pretty hard to ding up your barrel, but that muzzle is critical. You can't even get a tiny little scratch on that. That's going to ruin your accuracy of your barrel if you do. Now, when it comes to cleaning, I mentioned that some of the opinions out there are not to clean your gun. I'll tell you, I believe that you should clean your gun fairly frequently, and it's over a long period of time. If you let that gun sit with a dirty barrel in it, especially I suppose if you're in a kind of a humid climate, that dirt inside the barrel, that crud, is going to attract moisture. If the barrel is clean and there's nothing in there, there's nothing to hold the moisture to it. You know, and the way I'll show you in doing this video is we're going to put a light coat of oil in the barrel when we're finished. so it's always going to be protected. The barrel will never degrade. So as long as you do your cleaning in a careful manner, you're not going to be ruining your barrel by cleaning it too much. Just do it the right way and you'll be fine. Okay, so having said that, since we're going to be cleaning these guns lots, let's get down to actually cleaning it. What I'm going to use here is a good cleaning rod, something that spins freely, and in the case of this rifle here is a 45 120, by the way, in case you're wondering. It's an oddball thing. It's a custom rifle, so a very heavy barrel on it, expensive barrel too, so I really want to be sure I don't wreck a barrel like this, and I want to take good care of it. So I've got an extra long rod here. Get yourself a rod, a good cleaning rod, and you know, you can use the ones that screw together in the kits. I've got the kit here, but in a pinch, like if I'm traveling, that's what I'll take. I'll just take this. But as much as possible, use a good one-piece rod, something that spins good. It's like bearings in the handle to let it spin as you're pushing the patches and brushes through. Now, get our vise. What I'm going to do is this gun is very heavy, so I'm going to put a pad underneath it, underneath the butt. If it was a 30-30, I can just screw that gun in there into the vise upside down with the top of the action facing down very easily and have it unsupported. And if it was a 30-30, that's what I would do, because you'd rather, if at all possible, when you're cleaning, you don't want to have your cleaning fluids running down into the action. I could do it with this one here, but it's kind of impractical with this gun. Partly because the barrel is so heavy, it's got a little bit of a taper, and the vise just won't hold the huge weight of this gun. It's about 11 pounds. So I'm going to clean this thing upright. If I had a choice, I probably would clean it upside down, but it's not that big of a deal. I'm going to clamp it in there good. Don't want that thing moving around. And we'll open her up. We'll lay this sight down. And let's get down to cleaning. So you get your cleaning kit here. The way I've organized my cleaning kit, you can see I've custom cut the interior from it. I kind of recommend you do that if you get a cleaning kit, because the cleaning kits tend to have everything under the sun in them. And by everything under the sun, I mean everything except the 2 or 3 guns that you clean. So it's kind of a real waste of space. You don't want, got this, you can only hold so many cleaning attachments in a little case like this, so why waste holding ones that you don't need? Just take the whole thing out, cut it. I just use pieces of foam and cut them to shape to various depths that I need, and away I go. Okay, and instead of having all your brushes and jags laying on these little trays, just put them in the bag. Got each of them in a little bag here. So there's 38, 44. We've got 243 here. I want to find 45 caliber. Okay, 45 caliber, and we're done. There's my 45. There we go. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some of that cleaning fluid, that hops. I use hops. There are others, but hops is a real good old standby. I'm going to get some of the cleaning fluid onto the surface of the barrel, the inside surface of it. As soon as I put that fluid on there, it's going to start breaking down all the carbon deposits on the inside. So I don't have to sit and wait for it or anything, but you know, just while you're changing your brushes and stuff like that, then you'll have time to soak in and break things up. Not everybody is sure what these mops are really for, but that's what they're for, is just to apply the hops onto onto your inside of your barrel. I'm going to take that. I don't have to use a whole lot. In fact, that's more than enough. If I had another container, I might just dribble a little bit onto the mop. Get this top on there so I don't spill it and embarrass myself here. I'm going to take this and carefully I'm going to run that through the bore. There. Now I've got the inside of that bore nicely soaked with a bit of that hops. I should get myself a little rag here. I'll just clean off this thing and dry it off a little bit. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to take the brass brush to it. Now, there's my jag. Okay, so we take the brass brush. I'm going to run that through there. I don't have to dip the brush into the solvent or anything. The barrel's already wetted. Put that up there. And we'll run that through there. Now what I'm going to do is just run this brush through there a little bit. You might want to do this about 20 times after you've been shooting a fair bit or more. If you're using a cast bullets and you have a bit of leading and it still shows some leading at the muzzle, let's say, then you can take some, so I've got some of this here, some of this Chore Boy type stuff. This isn't Chore Boy brand, but it's copper wool, made for scrubbing stuff. You can take some of that, cut a piece of that and wrap it around your cleaning brush, and you run that in and out of there a few times. If there's any lead, it's going to get it out, guaranteed. Trust me, works really good. So you can find this stuff, should be able to find it. It's really good to have. That's if you have leading mainly, but also for copper jackets, fouling as well. So what I've done here is just run the brush through a couple of times, but in reality you would be doing that maybe a good 20 times. Then we go to the patch, and for that I prefer to use a jag. So for patch, all you have to do, take one of these things here. This is probably pretty basic for a lot of people, but for some people, they have no idea how to clean a gun. So, yeah, let's show you how it's done, just so there's no uncertainty. This is how a jag is used. I've just moistened the patch a little bit, push it, and it pierces a little hole through there. And you take that jag and you run it through the barrel. Okay, so it comes out the end. You take the patch out and gently run it back out again. And you can keep on doing that until the patch comes out clean. Okay, so that may take several patches. In fact, this barrel could use a little bit of cleaning, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time cleaning it right now because this is just a demonstration. But I'll run another one through there and I'll show you the difference between the first two patches, and I promise you that I will finish cleaning this barrel later after the video is over. Okay, so there I've got two patches run through. Kind of show you the difference. See, it's still, this one's a bit dirtier, this one gets a little cleaner. Just keep running them through until they come out quite clean. And then once they're done, what I like to do is take a dry patch and clean that solvent out of the barrel. So just run a dry patch through there. You're always gentle with the muzzle. I know it's all brass, so it shouldn't hurt anything, but that doesn't mean you should be rough. Okay, I'm going to put this cap back on here. Now I've run a clean patch through there. And if I was done, what I would do next is I'd take my oil, whatever oil it is that you're preferring to use. Take a patch. This is where we oil the barrel. And when we do stuff with oil, the general rule to follow is very simple with guns. Use as little oil as you can. Because really the gun can function just fine without any oil. And the oil is mainly there just to keep it from rusting. If you put too much oil on the gun, instead of protecting it, you're actually going to the oil will give a place for dust and stuff like that to attach to, and then that dust actually gets run into your steel mechanisms and wears it out, so it actually does the opposite of what you think it would do. It's not like things that are moving fast and getting hot. The gun is made to spec. It's made out of very hard steel. You don't need any oil on it. The only reason you need some oil is just to keep it from rusting. So what I've done with this patch, I've just put a few drops of oil on it. You can hardly even see it, but that's plenty. It's just got to be a microscopic film. Okay, so now we'll get this patch through there. This is my oil patch, and that's it for cleaning the barrel. Now you might think we're all done. We are pretty close, but one thing left to do. If you want to take good care of your guns, I'm going to take this gun out of the vise. And I don't like to leave the spring cocked on these things. Okay, then for care and maintenance, I'm going to take a rag. I've got I learned this from a guy named Gun Blue. He has a lot of good advice. He just keeps an oiled rag in a baggie, and just takes this oiled rag, and I mean it's very lightly oiled. You can just barely feel it, but you can see the surface of the gun here. You get little fingerprints and things like that. Especially with a valuable gun, you don't want that acid from your fingers to rust or create any damage. So just take your oily rag and just wipe the gun a little bit. It's not a rag dripping with oil, but just good maintenance. It's going to help your parts stay free of rust and corrosion from handling and stuff like that. It protects it good. A little bit of oil, you can put it on the stock too. Not enough so that it attracts dust, just enough to clean her up. Okay, so that's cleaning the gun. Now I'll just show you what I mean with a 30-30. I'm going to take this, put this gun aside. If we were doing a 30-30, or a gun with an action like that, check to make sure it's empty, you can just clamp it in like so. Okay? If I can get that thing centered right. I should have, I'm just doing it this way for the purpose of the video, but you know, like I can clamp that in there so she's good and solid. If I was actually doing it on this bench, I'd point it the other way, have the muzzle facing me, and I clean it like that, upside down, and then all that solvent that comes out is going to drip out there instead of into the action. Because the idea is to not have a wet action. Especially up here in Canada, we hunt in temperatures that are, if you're crazy enough, you can go 40 below. We got winter days like that. So you have any oil in your gun, you go and pull the trigger and nothing's going to happen. It's got too much oil in it. You're way better off for this, from the point of view of the gun itself, and also for reliability, just to have no oil. Or you know, your oil is basically going to be like taking this rag. Okay? If you took each part in your gun, let's say you took the gun apart to clean it, just wipe it with this slightly oily rag, and that's all you need. So anything I forgot? You clean your kit. It's not a bad idea to have a bore light. Then especially if you're shooting cast bullets, you might have to, if you run that brush through there a few times, you might want to take a little look at the condition of the bore. I do have, I'll grab this thing here too. You want to get really carried away, see exactly what your bore is like. Let me show you something here, just so you can see how these things work. I'm going to take, this is a bore cam. You can buy these things now for 35 bucks. They're really cheap. See if I can get this thing in the right way. That way? No, I'll try it this way. There we go. See, I just plugged this thing in, and right away I've got a picture of what's going on here. I can run that up and down the bore. See that there? You can see that well on the camera or not, but and you can have it record while you do that. And if you want to inspect if there's any lead building up around your muzzle or anywhere in the barrel, you know, it's important also where the lead is occurring. That tells you something. Then you can use a little $35 bore cam. These things used to cost a ton of money, so they're really out of range of most people, but things are changing, and a lot of stuff that only experts used to be able to afford, now the common man is able to afford, and this is one of them I think people should give some thought to. So there's a little bore cam. I don't think there's much else to cover here. So hopefully that helped you out a little bit, and here's Don from Canada, and I'll see you till next video.